Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Ask Julie Ryan Show. I'm Julie, your host, and I'm so delighted you could join us this week. My intention in doing this show is to provide information, insight, and comfort to people all over the world by helping to answer life's unanswerable questions. And it is May, the first Thursday in May coming up. Well, you know what? It's the 29th. I had a winner. So I'm going to go ahead and announce it because I got it. I always do a winner on the first Thursday of the month. And I guess I'm a couple days ahead of schedule. So better than late, huh? I do this. I pick a winner out of people who have left a review for my show on my podcast. And you just go to ratethispodcast.com/Julie and put in a review about my podcast. And then I do a drawing of somebody who's won. So we've got somebody named Day Girl. And Day Girl said, Julie's a refreshing show. Not only is Julie spot on in her assessments of people, as per the callers who call back later to share, but she has an easy and grounded way of being. The best part is she doesn't take herself too seriously, like a lot of healers and psychics do. I thought that was hilarious. So, Day Girl, you have won a free 1-hour session with me valued at $200. And all you have to do is email me, julie@askjulieryan.com. And what I'll do is we will come up with a date and time that works with your schedule to get you a free consult. And we can talk about whatever you want, as many things as you want, because, you know, I am a buffet of psychicness. So Talladega Super Speedway last week was a blast. I posted some pictures and I got some video. I got to get it up. Haven't gotten it up yet, but I'll do that in the next day or so. And it was so much fun. And I didn't get arrested. So I would go back. It was that much fun. The Speedway is really impressive. And I've only been to horse races. I'd never been to a car race, but it was a blast. We had a great time, and my friends were down. And of course, His Majesty Prince Jonathan, my son, has gone back to LA. And it was great having him home too. All right, let's go to the phones. And our first caller is Liz. Let me find Liz here. Here she is. Hi, Liz. Liz Peterson. Hi, girl.
Hi, Julie.
How are you?
So great to connect with you. I'm doing great.
I'm good. Thanks.
Great.
Well, I'm terrific. Thanks, everybody. I got to be on Liz's show recently, and I wanted to introduce her to all of you and just have her on for a couple of minutes and have her tell everybody about her and the work she does, and then, Liz, how everybody can get in touch with you.
Great. Well, hi, everyone. My name is Liz Peterson, and I'm the host of Raise the Vibe with Liz podcast, hosted on all major platforms. And I had the pleasure to interview Julie, and that aired yesterday, if you want to check that out. And you can also find me on Facebook and YouTube at Raise the Vibe with Liz. Yeah. It's been so fun.
Terrific. And what kind of work do you do? Tell everybody about what kind of work you do to help people raise their vibe.
I am an intuitive healer and energy worker here on Vashon Island in Washington State. And I can do remote calls and in-person healings. And then I have the podcast. And it's so much fun being able to interview so many great healers and inspirational speakers, psychics, and to be able to work here on Vashon and abroad and do the healing work that I so much love to do.
Yeah, terrific. It is wonderful to be able to stay at home and do this, out of our homes, isn't it? That we don't have to go into an office. And I think a lot of people think that it's a mandatory thing, and it's not.
No, it's not. You can do everything remotely. Our energy travels.
Yeah.
So we can, call in or on video and do the work right there. Yeah. Works just as well sometimes.
I always tell people that I could scan them on Mars if they had internet access and we could talk. So, I can scan them on Mars without talking with them, but it's just more fun when I'm talking with them. Because certainly I've scanned a lot of people and done healings on people they've been flying over the ocean or, 40,000 feet up in the air. It doesn't matter. I'll find them.
Isn't it wonderful how that universal field connects us so deeply that we can connect anywhere around the world.
Exactly.
Yep. Give and
I
receive
agree.
the energy.
Well, Liz, tell everybody how they can find you. Please tell everybody how they can find you.
So everybody can find me at Raise the Vibe with Liz on Instagram and on Facebook. And you can also find me on all major podcast platforms. Just look for Raise the Vibe with Liz. And you can also find me at www.lizshealingtouch.com if you want to schedule an appointment via phone, video, or in person. And you can also find all of my information on my website as well. And that, again, is lizshealingtouch.com.
Okay. Well, terrific. We have already posted the links to the show. So everybody, my social media is all at Ask Julie Ryan, and you'll see the link to the show when I was a guest on Liz's show. And then we will post links to your website and stuff in the show notes.
Oh, fantastic. And find Julie's podcast also on Facebook and Instagram at Raise the Vibe with Liz. And you can find the link in my bio there as well. And it was so much fun talking with you, Julie. So many great stories. So much you shared with the audience. It was fantastic. Loved having you on the show.
We did have a good time. It's so fun to compare notes and see how we're all doing the same thing. Sometimes we maybe have a little bit of a different technique, but it's all the same thing. It's just, you're wearing a dress, you're wearing a yellow dress or a blue dress. It's still a dress. So it all works.
Exactly.
All right, Miss Liz, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, Julie.
And
thanks, Julie.
Enjoy your evening. You bet.
You too.
Okay. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now.
Bye. Okay. Let's go to Hannah next. And here you are.
Hi,
Hannah.
Julie. Thank you.
You're welcome. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm calling from England. It's the middle of the night here.
Oh, thank you for staying up. Where in England are you located?
I'm in Surrey, which is just it's about 30 miles south of London.
Gotcha. Okay. I had a great aunt that lived in Surrey. And when I was little, she used to send us Christmas presents. And that was the one present we were allowed to open on Christmas Eve. So we were always so thrilled to see what she had sent us from England. She was American living in England, but what a thrill to be a little kid and get a present from England. It was great.
Yeah, definitely.
And she lived in Surrey. Yeah.
Small world.
Terrific. Well, you got a question for me?
Yes, please. I'm calling about my mum. She got diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma last year, and she's on her second round of chemo. She had 6 before Christmas and then a gap, and then they tried her on a new drug starting in January. Anyway, she saw the consultant last week for results of a scan, and she said, it's not looking so good. This second lot of chemo, the scan results aren't as good as they were after the first lot of chemo. She said, we'll keep going. We'll give you a couple more, but there's a spot on your lung. After this, there's not much more. There's no other. She said there was no other drug that they could offer. So it was a bit despondent and not what my mum wanted to hear. And I just thought, I'm going to get in touch with you and see if you can do a scan on her and see what you see. And I'm just wondering what else to try for her next, really.
Yeah. Does she know that I'm going to scan her, Hannah?
I didn't say anything. No, I didn't say, just because I didn't know what you were going to say about her, and I didn't want to, I didn't want to set her up and then in case it wasn't brilliant news.
Yeah,
I'm sure she'll be fine. She'll be up for it. She's been having distant healing that I've arranged for her, so she'll definitely be up for it.
Okay, everything can be healed, so I don't edit anything I get. And so we just see what's going on. All right, I'm going to connect to you, and then I'm going to connect from you to your mom. What's your mom's first name, Hannah?
It's Daphne.
Daphne. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
So here comes my laser beam. I raise my vibrational level to the level of spirit. I watch a laser beam come from my body here in the southeast U.S., Birmingham, Alabama, and it's heading northeast to you up in Surrey. And I'm going to connect to you and then from you to your mom. All right, I just connected to you. I'm connecting to your mom. So Daphne, may I scan you energetically and do an energetic healing? She goes, oh, well, why? Why, yes, is what she said in my head, even before I got the whole question out. All right. So I'm going to shoot some energy into her, and it'll be like I'm looking at an X-ray or a CT scan or an MRI, Hannah. And I'm going to hold you over for the break. We're going to go to a break real fast, everybody. You're listening to the Ask Julie Ryan show. Stay with us, and we'll see what's going on with Daphne once we come back. Welcome back, everybody. Before the break, we were talking with Hannah from the UK, from England, about her mom, Daphne. And Hannah, over the break, what I did was I did a healing on your mom because I had gotten her permission before the break when I asked her if I could scan her. And what I saw was lymphoma has to do with the lymph nodes and the lymph system. And the reason why it's so scary is because it can spread all over the body because the lymph system goes all over the body. And the lymph fluid looks to me like the fluid inside a lava lamp. Do you remember the old-fashioned lava lamps from the 60s? Yeah. So it's kind of globby. And when somebody has lymphoma, I see it's like these, they're not really bubbles, but they're round. They almost look like those D3 capsules, that they have that are vitamin D capsules. Have you ever seen those? They're kind of amber color. And so I'll see that. And then some of them are brown. They're a brownish color, and those are the ones that are malignant. So what I did was I saw those, and then I went right to a DNA healing where I saw 7 strands of her DNA come out, and I watched it get resequenced. Now, DNA is the recipe that tells the cells how to behave. And when there's a mutation, cells misbehave. And we get cancer and other diseases. So we can do a healing, and that's what happens when I work on DNA. It's spirit working through me and with me. And I watch the DNA get resequenced. The strands come out of a big X chromosome, and they look like pieces of paper that you would find in a fortune cookie with the fortune written on it. If you see, I know you've seen those at some point in your life. And so they get resequenced, and then they snap back into the chromosome, and then the chromosome snaps into her body. So I did the DNA healing, and then what happened was I went back and I flushed out her lymph system, and all of those black and brown malignant cells came out. So the DNA healing was like, okay, let's fix the recipe. And I watched the black and brown cells just deflate, kind of like if you had a balloon and you stuck a pin in it and then it just deflated. So it was just these bubbles that, have you ever had a blister on the back of your heel and you pop it and then you just have all that skin left over, on the back of your heel? That's what they looked like. And then those were removed. So hopefully that will help. With her. That'll help her heal, help her get well and go through the chemo. The other thing that I did was if she goes through chemo again, whenever I'm scanning somebody that's going through chemo, I see that their body turns into kind of a cryo system, like frozen. And there's a column that goes down the middle of your mom's body. And this is what it looks like energetically to me. It goes down the middle of her body, and the chemo looks like hot lava. Now, this is obviously, it's symbolism for what's going on. But I watched the body almost go into a deep freeze all around where that tunnel is, where that tube is in the middle. And then when the chemo is over, it helps protect the cells that aren't in play for cancer. And interestingly enough, Hannah, when I first started my career a million years ago selling hospital supplies in 1981, actually, when I graduated from college. One of the first products I learned about in over 100,000 products that I was selling, because I worked for a big distributor, was a cap that people who are getting chemo can wear, and it's a cold pack that will kind of make the hair follicles cold, and then they don't lose their hair.
Yes.
So this cryo stuff is a big deal. It's been around a long time. Okay. So she got a full healing on the cancer.
That sounds incredible. Thank you so much.
I hope that helps. You are most welcome.
I'm so grateful, and I've got a full session booked with you, but I couldn't get a date until August. So I'm going to keep looking for cancellation, and hopefully you can do even more of your magic on her. Thank you so much, Julie.
Well,
much
and you know the trick, right? You know the trick. You look at the reschedule button on your confirmation email, and then I have people reschedule all the time, and it's just luck of the draw. But
exactly,
we'll talk when we're supposed to.
Brilliant.
Okay,
yeah, exactly.
Sounds good.
Thanks so much.
All right, sweet
really
dreams.
Appreciate that. Cheers.
Go to bed.
You. Bye-bye.
Okay. Good night.
Bye.
So it's 7. London's 6 hours ahead of me. It's 7:30, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1:30. Hannah's time. Holy shamoly. That's a lot. So thanks for staying up and calling in, Miss Hannah. Okay, let's go to Lori next. Hi, Lori.
Hi, I'm calling from Mason. Hi, calling from Mason, Ohio.
Near Cincinnati, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
About 40 miles north.
Isn't that where Kings Island is?
Yeah, I can hear the fireworks in the summer. I'm that close.
Kings Island, you guys, is an amusement. It's a huge amusement park, and I grew up in Columbus, which is a couple hours north of you, and obviously you know that. I'm telling everybody else. And so we used to go to Kings Island when I was a kid, and they have this replica of the Eiffel Tower at Kings Island. So when I'm driving from Sweet Home, Alabama up to Ohio, I always pass the Eiffel Tower, and that's kind of our marker that we're getting kind of close. So terrific. You got a question for me?
Yes, I have 2 cats that I adopted mid-December after I put my second cat down the day before Thanksgiving, and they're siblings, 4.5-year-old Chandler and Ava, and they had to be adopted together because they're like best friends and they're real characters. So one thing I'm noticing about them is they both do this. It lasts about maybe a minute, and it almost sounds like you have bronchitis. But they eat. I mean, I don't feel like it's upper respiratory. Someone said, "Well, why don't you see if it's a tapeworm?" And they seem fine, other than every once in a while they'll do that deep cough.
And it's different from a furball cough.
Well, they're not. They're not chucking up a fur ball.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right.
I mean, it could be a fur ball, and they're not chucking it up.
But they're both doing it? That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Welcome back, everybody. Before the break, we were talking with Lori in Mason, Ohio, outside of Cincinnati, about her kitty cats, Chandler and Ava. And I scanned them on the break, Lori, and it looks to me like they've got some kind of respiratory viral infection. And it's low grade, but how I can tell is it looks like, do you remember when you were in grade school or high school looking through a microscope in science class, and you'd bring in a little pond water or something, you'd see all those squiggly things, moving around in the slide? They've got that. So what I did was bacterial infections, I always see antibiotic energy, which is a fuchsia color. It's kind of more pink than purple. And this is viral. So what I did, and this is how I get rid of viral infections, with Spirit working through me and with me again, is I pretend I'm Princess Leia with a lightsaber, like a laser. And I lasered both Chandler and Ava, and it kills the virus, and the virus looks like those little squiggly, like little worms. You remember looking at the microscope? And then it just leaves their carcass. It's hilarious. And then I suck those out. So I did that in both of them, and they've got some kind of respiratory viral thing going on. So hopefully that will help them heal.
So are you saying you think I should take them to the vet?
Well, see how they're doing.
Okay.
The vet's not going to be able to do a lot for them. I mean, if they have trouble breathing, viral infections need to run their course. So hopefully we've helped with that. But if they're having trouble breathing, they'll put them on a steroid. So if they end up
they're not having trouble breathing at all. No.
Yeah, this looks looks low
I'm
level.
64 and I'm 64 and I've had 13 cats in my lifetime. So I'm kind of intuitive about my kitties, and that's why if I had felt like I've had other cats do that, but and I use baby powder, and I didn't know if that was getting in their lungs or what. But okay, good, you got rid of the squigglies.
I think it's a viral thing. So see how they're doing, and they'll get rid of it, and their little immune systems will take care of it, and I think they'll be fine. Okay.
So
thanks for calling.
I have a session with you in August, and I reviewed your book, loved it, and I review on Amazon under my name is Allie, and I gave you a great review.
Thank you so much. I so appreciate that because it helps other people find the information, and usually it's people that either have a loved one who's dying or they've just lost a loved one. And so thank you so much. Means the world to me, and hopefully it'll help others find the information that will bring them some comfort as well.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks. Hope they're better. Hope your cats get better. Thanks for calling.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Everybody listening, if you've read Angelica Tennant's, please leave an Amazon review. And if you've read my children's books, Angel Messages for Dogs or Angel Messages for Kids, please leave a review there as well. Because that's how Amazon and Barnes & Noble, my books are sold anywhere you can get books. But that's how they have books pop up, like if somebody does a search word for what happens when we're dying or something like that. And it just brings comfort to so many people. I've gotten emails from a lot of people over the years saying, I just did a search on Amazon or on Barnes & Noble or Apple Books or whatever, and I found your book. It popped up, and oh my gosh, it was so helpful. So please leave a review if you've read it. Okay, let's go to Julie next. Hi, Julie.
Hi, Julie.
How are you?
I'm from Sheboygan. I'm okay. We've lost 6 people now over the years, so I'm really worried about our kitty. I'm calling from Sheboygan, Wisconsin. Our kitty has like an ulcer in his mouth and in his jaw. And he had some blood work done and a biopsy. We haven't heard the results yet.
Okay.
We really don't want to lose another one, another loved one, but not sure if he wants to go or.
Okay. Tell me his name, Julie.
Twinkie.
Twinkie. I love that. And how old is Twinkie?
Twinkie and his pal Tootsie were feral cats, so we're not really sure.
Okay.
Maybe 10 or so.
Okay. Did you tame them? Do they live inside?
Yes.
Wow. I'm
Tootsie's
impressed,
on my
girl.
lap right now. Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing because feral cats are not easy to tame.
They came to us. They chose us. And they looked in our patio door, and I knew that what they wanted was in.
Yeah. Well, good for you. Okay. All right. I'm going to connect to you, and then I'm going to connect to Twinkie. From there, I love his name. How funny. Okay. So Twinkie, got him. Oh, yeah. What the vets say. I can see where the ulcer is.
He kind of thinks that it could be cancer.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting too.
And he thinks an aggressive kind, and I'm not sure if he wants us to take him to, have procedures done, or I don't, or be put down. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. The good news is he's not dying at the moment. His spirit's in his body, or otherwise I wouldn't be able to scan him, because the spirit is the power source for the body in both humans and animals. And when somebody's dying, their spirit hangs on to the top of the head in a cartoon caption bubble. You've heard me talk about that probably, Julie.
Right.
And same with animals. So that's the good news. What I'm doing is I'm scooping out the ulcer in his system, in his mouth, and then I'm putting stem cell energy in there. And it has gone into the bone in his jaw, is what it looks like to me. So there's a bone graft that's forming from the stem cell energy. He has what I would call, what it looks like to me is necrotic tissue in the bone, where the bone is starting to disintegrate, where the cancer is. And so I've scooped all that out too. I've put stem cell energy in there. That's going to help regenerate the bone, regenerate the tissue in his mouth. So let's ask him, Twinkie, are you ready to go? He said, hell no. So that's pretty definitive. Hell no. So he wants to stick around for a while. Is it best for Julie, if it gets bad, to euthanize you? He said you'll know. You'll know. He'll let you know when the time is right. But right now, I think he's got a fighting chance of living for a while and recovering from this in some respect.
Do we go to some place like medicine to do chemo, or just kind of take it one step at a time?
I think one step at a time. Let's ask him about, Twinkie, are you wanting chemo or other kinds of therapy? He said, no, just keep him comfortable. Okay. And because the chemo is so hard on him.
Yes.
And
yes, it is.
Yeah. He just wants to be comfortable. I think he's going to be around a while, Julie. I don't think he's checking out. At least, now, future events are fluid. There are a bazillion variables that come into play. That's what I'm getting right now. That could be different tomorrow, next week, next month, next year. But things that have happened in the past are set. Things that are happening right now are set. But that's what I'm getting, that I think he'll be around for a while. Okay. All right. Hang in there.
Thank you so much.
You bet. Thanks for calling. Take care. Bye-bye. Sure. Okay. Let's see who's next. I think it's Melissa. Hi, Melissa.
Hi there. How are you, Julie?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good.
Where are you located?
I am in Utopia, Texas.
Oh, what a name. I've never heard of it. Oh, my gosh. How fabulous. What's it near?
It's in the Texas Hill Country. It's near like Uvalde and Bandera. And yeah, it's kind of just really tucked into the Texas Hill Country.
Wow. Are the bluebonnets done?
There's not very many over here, but a little bit further south, they've been popping off pretty good.
Yeah, I bet they're beautiful.
I go visit my grandmother, and the wildflowers are crazy down there. And so, yeah, they're just the Indian paintbrushes and the blue bonnets, and yeah, it looks beautiful.
That's what I've heard. That's what I've... Terrific. Well, you got a question for me?
Yeah, I was calling for my sister, Jenny, and her new baby, Mateo. She kind of had a rough pregnancy and was having to take steroid shots because she couldn't keep any food down. And so she was on like steroids she's still on steroids. They're trying to taper her off of them, but she's having a really hard time getting her condition back. And she had to give birth a month early. And she's just having trouble moving. And so I was just going to see if you could tap into her and Mateo, and if there's any advice that I could help them with or relay anything.
Yeah, sure. So how long ago did she have him?
She had him a week ago.
Oh, goodness. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What I'm going to do, Melissa, is I'm going to check on Ginny and baby Mateo during the break. We are going to go to break here in a minute. And when I come back, I will report in and let you know what I find. Stay with us, everybody. You're listening to the Ask Julie Ryan Show, and we'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Before the break, we were talking with Melissa in Utopia, Texas. I love the name of that town. Is that the founding name, or did they change it after?
I really
it was named
don't know. I'm not sure.
Wow.
I only spent a couple months out of the year here.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to look it up after the show. I've never heard of it. And I love the name of it. So what I did on the break, Melissa, was I checked in on your sister, Ginny, and the baby. And you didn't tell me what her symptoms are, but when I got her on my radar, it looks like her muscles are all loose. At first I thought, does she have muscular dystrophy? And I got a no on that, but I got that she has muscular dystrophy symptoms. Like, that it's almost like her muscles are all stretched out, and she just looked like she'd been just all stretched out. Like if she had been silly putty. Did you have silly putty as a kid? And you could stretch it around and make it into different shapes and stuff. That's what it looked like.
Yeah.
So the healing that I watched happen on her, Melissa, is all her muscles, there was stem cell energy applied, and they were tightened so that she could move better and walk. And it was interesting. I don't know that I've seen that before, but I kept getting that there's some kind of a muscular thing going on. So what I did was I went into her brain during the break, and I looked at the neural pathways. Neural pathways look to me, Melissa, like laser beams that light up as part of a security system in a museum, they're guarding the paintings and the statuary and that kind of stuff and the artifacts. And she had some of her neural pathways that were occluded. So I cleared those, and they're all lit up again. So what's going on with her? What are the doctors saying? Does that make sense, what I just described, the healing?
That's funny, because that's what she's talked about her skin feeling like. And some of the nurses or the doctors have been saying, that she's just flaccid right now. And I don't know. From what they're saying, it's like a really rare case because she couldn't eat while she was pregnant at all. And so steroid shots were the only way that she could get any food to stay in her body. But of course, with it being like suppressing the immune system, she also got COVID in the middle of that too. And while her system was kind of down, and she just was like bedridden and couldn't get out of bed. Had to have an emergency C-section because things just weren't looking very good for Mateo and for her. And she's still they said that they can't take her off the steroids just yet because she has to be tapered off, but she has to do physical therapy, I guess, to get her conditioning back.
I wrote that down. Actually, I wrote PT down, and I was going to suggest that she look into PT. The other thing, Melissa, that I would get her to absolutely demand is that she get put on an antifungal like nystatin, NYSTATIN, because all those steroids have whacked her gut, and that's where her immune system is based. And she already has fungal infections, and they're going to get worse as long as she's on this steroid. So she needs to be taking nystatin now, and when she gets off, maybe for as much as several months, to help clean that up. If you email me, julie@askjulieryan.com, I'll send you the link for the gut biome test. I would get her to do that. It's a fancy word for a poop test, because that will tell her what the foods are for her to eat that will help restore her gut biome. But you got to get her to get the doctors to put her on nystatin. A lot of them want to use diflucan, and diflucan, one of the side effects is death. So unless you're dying, I don't think diflucan makes sense, but nystatin's been off patent for decades, and it works great. It's nectar of the gods. As far as the baby, he looks great. When I got him on my radar, what I had a picture of was a manger scene from far away, at Christmas, where they'll just have this light emanating from the manger. That's what his little energy field looked like. So he's fine. He's going to be just fine. Yeah.
Oh, that's good news. Thank you.
And that'll help. Yeah. So I would email me. Let's do the gut biome test. Get her to request nystatin. I would get her in PT as soon as possible, and I believe she'll recover from this.
Great, that's great news. Thank you so much, Julie.
You're welcome. Thanks for calling. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.
You too. Bye.
Let's go to Nan next. Hi, Nan.
Hi, Julie.
How are you, girl?
I'm okay, thanks. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. Where are you located?
I am in Oshkosh, Wisconsin.
Okay. We've had 2 from Wisconsin already.
Yes, I heard the other one. I know. That's
yeah.
Neat.
Wonderful. Well, terrific. Well, you got a question for me?
I do. I was going to see if you could do a scan on me, actually. I've had a lot of health and back problems mostly. It started with a pars fracture in my lower L4, L5 when I was 12, and it went undiagnosed, and then it slipped, and I ended up having a very serious spondylolisthesis in my adult years when I was barely walking anymore. So I've had a fusion in my lumbar, and then I have several herniated discs in my thoracic, and ended up having a cervical fusion as well. Also had breast cancer in there, and had a bilateral mastectomy and a failed reconstruction. So I've had a lot of chest surgeries and spine surgeries.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a lot of chronic pain, and just wondering about why I'm continuing to have so much pain, I guess. Because I've done everything I can think of to heal myself and feel better. I mean, I've done physical therapy many, many times. I've done surgeries. I've done, just a lot of conservative treatments, chiropractic regularly, things like that. But I'm still having a lot of neck pain, a lot of myofascial pain, and I feel like there's ribs are popping out of place a lot, and that's obviously very painful for me. So I'm just kind of looking for your advice as to what's going on and maybe what else I can try.
Okay. All right. Let me get you on my radar, and let's see what's going on. Okay. Here comes my laser beam from Sweet Home, Alabama, up to Wisconsin. All right. Gotcha. Up to Badgerland. Okay. Shooting energy from your feet up through top of your head. All right. I'm in your back. And what I'm watching is the vertebrae get spaced so that they're not collapsing and showing discs that are bulging. I'm going to hold you over for the break, Nan. I'll work on you over the break, and I'll pick you up on the other side and let you know what I find. Everybody, you're listening to the Ask Julie Ryan Show. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Before the break, we were talking with Nan in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. I always think of overalls. I'm sure everybody else does, right? That they made Oshkosh famous, didn't they?
Yes, they did.
The overalls. And so what I did, Nan, was I did a healing on you during the break. And what I did was I propped up the vertebrae that were starting to collapse and making those discs bulge. And then I put this netting that I always watch get administered between it stretches from the upper vertebra to the lower vertebra, and it keeps the disc in. And then where you've had the fusion, I cut out the bone. Imagine a 3-sided rectangle, if you will, and then put stem cell energy in there to regenerate discs so that will move. So your spine and your skeletal system in the back will move, and I did that all the way up, and then I watched a chiropractic adjustment happen. So hopefully that will help, because where it looks to me like where you've had the fusions, there's no movement, and so it's causing problems and putting pressure on the other areas of your back. And that's the thing with the fusion. It's kind of a catch-22. The fusion helps in the short run, but then in the long run, most people that have back surgery and have fusion done, they've got to go get subsequent back surgeries. So hopefully that will help some and give you some relief.
With ribs too, with the myofascial pain that I'm having around the ribs and in that area.
I think what's happening is that what it looked like to me, Nan, was those vertebrae were starting to collapse, and that was causing the herniated disc, and it just puts everything out of whack. I mean, your whole skeletal system's out of whack as a result. Right. So I think the issue is originating in your back.
Okay.
Is what I was seeing.
I do.
So I hope that helps.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You bet. Thanks for calling. Hope you feel better.
You're welcome.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. You bet. We do the show, everybody, every Thursday night at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, and 5 Pacific. The call-in number is 712-775-7035, and the access code is 483-620-pound. I should have that memorized. 483-620-pound. This information is available on my website at AskJulieRyan.com and in the show notes. You can download the show anywhere you get podcasts. We're also on YouTube and Alexa. And please remember to subscribe and leave a review at ratethispodcast.com/Julie. Again, ratethispodcast.com/Julie. And when you do leave a review, then you are entered into a drawing. And I usually do it the first Thursday of every month. I was kind of rushing April. I don't know why, but I was. So I announced the May winner still in April. It's good. Okay, call-in details can also be found on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and Pinterest at Ask Julie Ryan. And we post a reminder to call in the day of the show each week. And if I'm going to be on vacation or something, which is rare, it's like 2 or 3 times a year when I don't do a live show, we'll post that too. Okay, don't call in because I'm not going to be doing a live show. So just go to Ask Julie Ryan on any of the social media platforms, and you'll see the day of the show. While you're on AskJulieRyan.com, be sure to sign up for my weekly newsletter. That's a question somebody has submitted online, and then I answer it. And in the body of the email, guess what's there? Call-in information. So I'm trying to make it easy for you guys to call in. On my website, you can also schedule an appointment with me, and then we'll have a whole hour to talk about whatever you want. We can scan you. I can scan you medically, do a healing, scan your cat, everything we do on the show. Past life, talk to deceased loved ones, tell how close to death somebody is, do spirit guides, do whatever. Get advice, love life advice. I get a lot of that. Or should I take this job? Is it a good idea for me to move to Poughkeepsie or wherever you're thinking of moving? And we'll ask the spirits and beyond what they suggest. So we can do that. The trick is get on my schedule. Go ahead and get on my calendar, even though I'm booked out a couple of months. And then on your confirmation email, you'll see the reschedule button. Click on that periodically when you think about it, and it will show you when other appointments are available. People reschedule every week, and it's just luck of the draw. And when we talk, we're supposed to talk. Pretty much everybody that I talk to that's been waiting for a while will say, when I scheduled, I had something going on, but now I've got something else I want to talk to you about, and it's even more pressing. So the timing always works perfectly. So everything you need to know can be found at AskJulieRyan.com. Okay, this week, let me put my glasses on so I can see what's happening here. I got a note. The question that was chosen is from Marie, and Marie lives in Corby, Northamptonshire, England. Northamptonshire, England. Excuse me. That's a mouthful. And she said, "Hi, Julie. I have just connected with my spirit guides, and I was wondering if you could see and tell me more about them. Thank you, Marie." Short and sweet, to the point. Hi, Marie. Thanks for your question. Congrats on connecting with your spirit guides. By the way, we all can connect with our spirit guides. You just ask a question. Just say, "Hey, what's your name?" Spirit guide, what's your name? You're going to get an answer in your head. It's going to come in really fast. If you want to get really good at it, sign up for my class, Angelic Attendance, and then you'll really get good at it. Okay, I digress. I went back to say, it has been my experience that at any given time, each of us, including you, is surrounded by multiple spirit guides, normally 7. A spirit guide is the energy, spirit, of a deceased person who advises us while we're having a human experience. In most instances, our spirit guides have lived one or more lifetimes involving similar situations as to what we're exploring in our current lifetime. For example, your main spirit guide is a fellow who lived in County Derry, now Londonderry, in Ireland in 1817. His name was John O'Malley, and he grew up on a dairy farm. He told me he's advising you on being able to focus on the tasks at hand and completing them in a punctual way. There's always a correlation between what the spirit guide learned in the past life that's shown and what's happening in your life. Are you working on a project that requires your focus within a certain time window? Or do you perhaps struggle with completing tasks in any area of your life? You can communicate with your spirit guide or guides anytime you wish. Just ask them a question or make a statement either aloud or in your head. They'll immediately respond, and it'll feel like a thought in your mind. You'll know the answer is from spirit when the thought arrives within a second or less after you say something to them. And remember, spirits are very literal, so be specific when looking for guidance. So thank you, Miss Marie from Northamptonshire, England. All right, spirit guides. A lot of you have heard me talk about my spirit guide, Pope Clement VI, and he showed up about 10 years ago. Spirit guides come in and out of our lives based, like I said to Marie, based on what's going on. And Pope Clement showed up one day when I was getting a healing from my mentor, a woman named Susan, and he showed up in his whole Pope outfit. I said to him, "Well, who are you?" And he said, "I'm Clement." And I said, "There was a Pope Clement? I never heard of a Pope Clement." And he said, "Yeah, I was number 6. And I said, "Okay, can I help you? What can I do for you?" Kind of like, "Why are you here?" And he said, "You're supposed to teach the world about what happens when somebody dies, because it's been so bastardized over the millennia and people are so afraid, and there's no reason to be afraid. And you can see what's going on with the angels and the deceased loved ones and the deceased pets and all of that. And so you need to teach the world what's happening." And I said to him, "I'm not doing that. I'm a businesswoman and people are going to think I'm nuts." And he said, yeah, whatever, just get on with it. So I went to my car to leave after I was done with Susan, and just for kicks, I Googled Pope Clement VI. Come to find out, the guy was in office during the Black Plague when 2/3 of Europe died. And he's best known for his prayers for the dying and his prayers for the dead. And I thought, Ryan, you just can't make that stuff up. And that's what we find, like this spirit guide of Marie's from Londonderry. I Googled him last night when I was writing this blog, and he's listed in the census for County Derry in Ireland. So when you get information from spirit, it's fun to do a search, an internet search, and see if you can find corroborating evidence just to validate what you get. I do that all the time with spirit guides and also with past lives. The other thing that's interesting is that most people think that our spirit guides are deceased loved ones, like a dead grandmother or aunt or husband or something like that. Those people are around us and they are advising us and they're supporting us and all of that. But spirit guides are rarely somebody that we knew in this lifetime who's died. They were always somebody that lived in a past life, but they're rarely, I can't even remember a spirit guide being somebody that was a deceased loved one. So it's always somebody else. I had a friend, and I was checking out for him his spirit guides, and he ran a big company with about 1,000 employees. And he had these people in his spirit guide stable that were like, the funniest one was Mary Kay Ash, from Mary Kay Cosmetics. And who else was in there? There were other people in there like Edison and some other entrepreneurs. And it's really wild. Think and Grow Rich, the book, they talk about having spirit guides in there. The wealthy, they know they have spirit guides. So check yours out. Stay with us, everybody. We're going to be right back after the break. You're listening to the Ask Julie Ryan Show. Welcome back. Let's go back to the phones. And our next caller is Cheryl. Hi, Cheryl.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. Can you get me off speaker, please? And hold the phone up to your mouth.
Okay. Okay, how's that?
Better, thanks. I'm still getting feedback.
Okay. Sorry about that. Okay. All right, so you say anything can be healed, and is that correct?
Yep.
Okay, cool. All right, so I believe that too. So I just want to know, do I have some sort of program or belief running that is about neglect, abandonment, unworthiness? I just want to know what this is.
All right, what's going on with you? Yeah.
I just want to, I've managed to manifest little things easily, but it just seems like all of my big hopes and dreams for my life, I just can't seem to make headway. And I'm just wondering if it's truly myself, if it comes from a past life, ancestors, something else, some energy here in the house affecting me, or really what's going on.
You're in fear. So 2-minute rule. Have you heard me talk about the 2-minute rule, Cheryl?
Yes. But how do I make a deep enough, how do I get through that easily? So things aren't it just seems like when I try to go and do something, it's just I have to do something over and over and over again. And it's exhausting. It's exhausting. I feel like I'm picking up too much of other people's energy. So I don't know how to adjust that. So I feel better, because if I go out into the world or whatever, and it's just, I'm just tired. I'm exhausted.
Right. We all come in with an internal GPS system. It's called emotion. So thoughts do not originate in our heads. They originate in the ethers. We pull them in based on what we're thinking about at any given time. You know how you'll have a thought, oh my gosh, I pick up other people's energy and it's just exhausting. So I really don't want to go out, because if I go out, then I pick up other people's energy. And then you kind of dig this black hole of thoughts. We'll have all these thoughts that leads to another thought that leads to another thought. So they're coming in kind of like on a radio station. They come in on a frequency. Our heads are big satellite dishes, and they receive and they transmit frequencies. So what you want to do is when you have a thought that feels bad, that's your spirit saying you're out of alignment. Look at it from a different perspective. Yep. And when we have a thought that feels badly, Cheryl, it's based in fear. It's either a rational fear, something's going to kill us, so get out of the street before the bus runs you over, or it's an irrational fear, which is false. And it's based on a limiting belief. That's false. So when we feel bad, that's our spirit saying, hey, look at this from a different perspective. If it's a limiting belief and it's based in an irrational fear, it's fake news. So as soon as you understand that, it negates any power it has over you, and you can take a step forward. Because we're all hardwired for fear. We're all looking for the saber-toothed tiger to come around the corner and eat us for lunch, although he's been dead for millions of years. So when we're in alignment with our spirit, we have thoughts that either feel neutral or good. So what you want to do is, when you have a thought that feels bad, ask yourself, is this going to kill me in the next 2 minutes? If it is, change the conditions. If it's not, it's false, the fear. take a step. Spirit will communicate to you when you're back in alignment. You get back in alignment by asking that question because curiosity is based in love. It's fun. You want to know more. It's exciting. So when you ask that question, is this going to kill me in the next 2 minutes? It raises your vibrational level. You're going to have a thought come in like, oh, I'm going to go anyway, even though I'm afraid I'm going to pick up people's energy, because I know that's that's based in an irrational fear. It's a limiting belief, irrational fear that's false, because it's not going to kill me in the next 2 minutes. So I'm going to go anyways, and I'm going to go to this thing. You can use the 2-minute rule 500 times a day. It's free and it's convenient. It works anywhere your brain is, and your brain's usually with you wherever you are. So Spirit doesn't communicate, Cheryl, on the I feel crappy channels. You can't get guidance, so you stay on the hamster wheel. And it's effort and struggle and all of that. And it's not supposed to be that way. I mean, you're welcome to do that. You're welcome to live life as a victim and after effort and struggle. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just not very fun. So when
that's
the
whole thing I'm trying to change.
Yeah, you've got the tools.
And I just feel like my nervous system has just taken a complete hit. And I didn't know if it was because I was having trouble if my energy was in alignment, if you're in a car accident.
No, it's not.
Or if because
it's not.
I have scoliosis. So
no, it's just because it's your thoughts. Your energy is fine. It's your thoughts, girl.
Right.
When you have a thought that feels bad, use the 2-minute rule. Is this going to kill me in the next 2 minutes? If it is, change the conditions. If it's not, anytime we try and control the conditions for an irrational fear, we stay on the hamster wheel. We get the same thing that we don't want. You're exploring lack. So what you want to do is you want to ask the 2-minute rule. Is this going to kill me in the next 2 minutes? You raise your vibrational level. You know it's an irrational belief based in an irrational fear that's false. You're going to have a thought, okay, go to this location anyway. You go there. It's going to be scary. Use the 2-minute rule again. You're going to have another thought. Take it one step at a time. When we think too far in the future, we get paralyzed because there are too many variables that come in. So that's the gift that we all have when we're born is the GPS system that tells us if we're in alignment with our spirit or not. And you know you're out of alignment with your spirit when you're efforting and struggling and you're getting the same thing. You're living in fear. Yeah. So implement it. You'll see how it works. It works great.
And do our spirit guides get really pissed off at us if we keep asking for the same thing over and over again?
Not at all. Not at all. Because time doesn't exist in the spirit world, and spirit guides, there's no right or wrong. There's no good or bad. It's just an experience. That's why people who decide to live life as a victim, it's fine in the spirit world. They don't care because it's an experience. We judge it as good or bad.
Well, yeah.
So, yeah.
Right. Okay, cool.
You're good.
Okay.
2-minute rule, girl. That's what you need to do. It's just going to kill me in the next 2 minutes. It works great. And then you'll attract more good feeling things. You're going to be amazed at how easy it is. So stay with us, everybody. We'll be right back after the break, and we'll get somebody else on and see what their question is. You're listening to the Ask Julie Ryan Show. Be right back. All right, let's go to Ronak next. Hi, Ronak.
Hi, Julie.
How are you, girl?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm terrific, thanks. Please tell everybody where you're calling in from.
I'm from Albany, New York.
Okay, terrific. You got a question for me?
Yes. When I was 16 or 15, teenage, I always feel something around me, like I'm sleeping, someone turn on my light, turn on fan. That is back my country, Bangladesh.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to know who was that. And it's like every night. One night my mom was, telling my mom that, and mom said, you making that. And it did same thing on mom's room, turning on light, playing with switch.
Yeah.
And mom yelled at that, go back to Lyra's room. My nickname, Lyra.
Uh-huh. Okay.
So what was that?
It was your great-grandmother, your maternal great-grandmother.
Oh,
she was there letting you know. Did you know her, Ronak?
No, no.
Okay. Did your mom know her? So it was your mom's grandmother.
Oh, I don't think mom knows her, but yeah, mom told me about her story that she was too lazy woman. That's why she make her husband married another to take care of her kids. Something.
She was married to an old man and then she switched husbands?
No, she make her husband married another woman so that woman can take care of her and her kids.
Oh, gosh. So she was a character, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she was messing with you guys, turning the lights on and off. Oh, my goodness. How funny is that? Yeah, that's who I'm getting. It was Ronak. And so you can talk to her. What was her name?
Her name I don't know. Maybe my mom. I will ask her.
Yeah. Ask your mom. Is your mom still
another
living?
Thing, what you said? Yeah, my mom live with me.
Yeah. Ask your mom her maternal grandmother's name. That's who it was.
Okay. And my husband died December 5th last year.
Oh.
So he is around me because I want to feel him.
Oh, yeah. All the time. All the time. So just say something to him in your head, and then you will hear him answer you, and it's going to feel like a thought in your head, Ronak, and how you know it's him is it comes in within a second.
Yeah, so when I get, like last couple of days, I'm not feeling good. Like I feel shaky, chill, and I cry a lot, yelling at him that, you promise me you will take care of me. And then I feel better.
Yeah. Well, he's around you all the time. So
yeah, maybe he do something that make me feel better when I cry and yell at him.
That makes you feel better?
Yes.
Oh, how funny.
Just screaming and yelling at him that, honey, you're not doing right to me.
Oh, yeah. He's saying he took really good care of you and you're just fine. That's what he just said. So
he's best husband.
Oh, good. Okay. Well, thanks for calling in. I'm sorry that you lost him, but find out what your great grandmother's name was and talk to your husband, and he'll.
And I talked to another
psychic,
and he said my husband will send someone for me, but I don't believe that.
Okay. Well, keep us posted. Let us know when he shows up.
I don't want to. I'm good with him.
Okay. Bye, Ronak. Thanks for calling. You bet.
Thank you, Julie.
Bye-bye. Oh, funny. All right. Adriana. Hi, Adriana.
Hi, Julie.
How are you?
How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
Thank you so much for this opportunity to ask a question.
You bet. Where are you located?
I had some... Oh, I'm sorry. I'm in Long Island, outside of New York City.
Okay. Terrific. All right. Well, I'm going to have to hold you over for the break, Adriana. And when I come back, we will see what your question is. And stay with us, everybody. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. We are going to go back to the phones for our final segment. And we had Adriana on a minute ago. Hi, Adriana. You still with us?
Yes, Julie. Hi.
Hi. You got a question for me?
I do. In August, I experienced something very strange that left me with a lot of pain in my chest, upper chest area, like right at the edge of the breast and up towards the collarbone.
Mm-hmm.
For around 6 months, I had intense pain there. And then the last couple of months, the pain seems to have moved and gotten stuck in the shoulder.
Okay.
And I still have a little tenderness on that breast spot. I had my heart checked, my sonogram of the breast. Everything is fine. But I don't know, there's still that tender spot on the breast and high heart area of the chest. And then the pain now mostly seems lodged in the shoulder.
Wow. Interesting. Okay, is it your
I
right
had a
shoulder?
huge wave of energy come up my feet like it was nothing I had ever felt before. It went up my legs, and when it hit my chest area, it started to get stuck, and I could feel it like pooling and like kind of the energy pooling in that area.
Huh. Is it on
And
your
it
right
stayed there
shoulder?
Yes, it stayed there for 6 months. It was some of the most intense pain I have ever experienced in my life. And then it started to subside, but it all got stuck in the shoulder now.
Yeah,
It
that's
seems.
what I'm seeing is that it's on the right shoulder. That's where the energy went. So let me see what's going on with that and see. Or am I on speaker by any chance?
Yes, I'm so sorry. Should
That's
I take
all right.
you off?
Yes, please. I'm getting feedback on that.
Okay.
Okay, thanks.
I have a new phone. I've never used it.
Well, God, my internet guy is coming out tomorrow. Thank you, God, because this internet's been screwy here the last couple of weeks. I don't know what's happening. So sorry for the technical difficulties here on my end. My man behind the curtain, Randall, is a saint working with me this week. Okay, so I'm in your right shoulder. Let me see what's going on with that. I'm not seeing anything that looks out of whack at all. It doesn't even look inflamed.
And have impingement. It's, that comes and goes. It shoots down the hand even.
Yeah.
It's so funny it doesn't show.
No, but the way you were describing it sounded like it was almost like a bruise or something.
The pain, no, it's internal, all internal.
I know, but you said that it was still tender in front of your right shoulder. So
it's still tender to touch on the breast and around the collarbone.
Yeah, that's what I was getting, like it was bruised or something.
Nope, it's just if I touch it, I'll feel this pain. I have no idea. It's healing so slowly.
Yeah, like it's a bruise that's still healing is what I'm seeing in front of that area. That's what I'm talking about with a bruise, like a bruise that you have that's still healing. Okay, let's see. What's going on with the shoulder? It's a neurological thing, obviously, because the pain goes shooting down, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm doing is I'm looking at your neurological system. I'm just running your neurological system to see if I can pick up something on that. And I'm going down the right side of your body and I'm tunneling through the nerve. It's like it looks to me like the pain went from your right shoulder, like straight down that in a straight line down from where that shoulder was, where the pain in the shoulder was. Is that what you were feeling?
Yeah, it feels like the pain that was in the chest, it moved into the shoulder, and it just feels like stuck pain. And I crack my fingers constantly. It feels like there is some kind of energy that's stuck that wants to move these past couple of months. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the only way I can describe it.
Mm-hmm. Have you been to see a chiropractor?
Yeah, he wasn't really that helpful.
I would find another one. That's what I just watched happen. I just watched a chiropractic adjustment happen. I think it's skeletal, and you're out of whack is what's going on. I think you're out of whack, and I'm not seeing inflammation. I'm seeing what looks like a little bit of bruising where it's still tender, but I think it's a skeletal thing. So find a chiropractor that somebody who uses a chiropractor that they really like and they have for a long time. And then I would take it from there and see if that helps. I'm sorry, I can't give you more information. I'm just not seeing anything.
And
it's showing
the
up on
pain
my
in the
radar.
chest, do you think it's just a bruise, like it's going to continue to heal?
Yes, I think it will, but I think what's happening is your skeleton's getting out of alignment. And so it's feeling like a bruise every time that happens. So if you can get back into alignment with a couple of adjustments from a chiropractor, that's going to help a lot. And then I believe that soreness will go away. Because I'm not
Sounds
seeing any
awesome.
breaks. I'm not seeing any muscle tears. I'm not seeing anything like that. So,
That's good.
yeah. So find a new chiropractor and see if that helps.
Great. Thank you so much, Julie.
You're welcome. Okay. Thanks for calling. Bye-bye.
Thanks.
All right. Let's go to Pamela next. Hi, Pamela.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Julie.
How are you?
Great. I didn't think I was going to make it on.
Well, thank you for your patience.
Oh, awesome. I am calling from Sunset Beach, North Carolina.
Terrific. Got a quick question for me? You're my last caller, so we've got a couple minutes.
Okay. I have been really fatigued. It's like my blood work comes back, that everything's okay.
Yeah.
But I just feel so drained and tired. Anything you could tell me about that?
Mm-hmm. How young are you?
59.
Okay. Bioidentical hormones. Research them. Find a practitioner in your area. Call a compounding pharmacy and find out if they can recommend somebody who can help you with bioidentical hormones. That'll help you feel better. All right, that's it, everybody, for this week. Thanks so much for listening. Sending you love from Sweet Home, Alabama. Bye, everybody.
Be sure to follow Julie on Instagram and YouTube at Ask Julie Ryan and like her on Facebook at Ask Julie Ryan. To schedule an appointment or submit a question, please visit AskJulieRyan.com.
This show is for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be medical, psychological, financial, or legal advice. Please contact a licensed professional. The Ask Julie Ryan Show, Julie Ryan and all parties involved in producing, recording, and distributing it assume no responsibility for listeners' actions based on any information heard on this or any Ask Julie Ryan shows or podcasts.